on, guys? Here's the situation. We have a very large CME headed towards the Earth. It is right on the front doorstep. Should be here any hour, creating possible geomagnetic storm activity. And there's one behind us. So we actually have two CMEs headed directly towards the Earth. And we also have another possible CME headed towards the Earth following today's X-class solar flare. This makes number 56 of solar cycle 25. That was the X flare right there. Here's a close-up view of the massive event coming off the southeastern limb of the sun over here at the homepage of the website. I updated it today, solar cycle 25 X flares. That was number 56. I want to show you guys an oddity involving the CME that's headed towards the Earth and should be here literally any hour. This is a view from the Soho Lascaux C3 sent in by Nelson Jenks. The CME came off the sun on November the 10th. Should be here, like I said, any time. I'm going to start this video footage from the Soho Lascaux C3, noticed by Nelson Jenks, this anomaly that is associated with the CME. Notice the unusual feature in the leading edge of the CME. It just doesn't look natural. It makes you wonder how something like that formed. It looks very symmetrical. It doesn't look like it just came off the surface of the sun at a very high rate of speed. It almost looks like it's of intelligent design. Look at this thing. Look at how symmetrical it is. It's got an oblong shape and then has something in the center right there that also looks symmetrical. Just kind of looked out of place, that's all. Not anything nefarious, but that is the CME that's headed towards the Earth. This right here that you see departing the surface of the sun, visible from the Soho Lascaux C3. Once again, something unusual in the plasma cloud that, again, is headed towards the Earth right now as I do this video. I also wanted to revisit this morning's video involving this, what looks like the sun behind this towering plume of smoke from Southern California. Looks like a small star up in the sky. It just looks small. Looks like a small star. Here's what the sun normally looks like behind a plume of smoke. This is looking west from Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's the sun minus the very bright light. Doesn't look like a small star in the sky. It still looks like the sun. It just doesn't have that overwhelming bright light. And you can see the noticeable difference. The view from Albuquerque, the sun looks much bigger, and it's behind that same wall of smoke over in the western skies above California, just visible from Albuquerque. Again, making this view of the sun look extremely small. I understand that the plume of smoke is much thicker, more than likely at this time, than it was at this particular time, but it just looks extremely small, almost like a small star up in the daytime sky. Coming over here to the homepage of the website, looking at the power outage situation, 243,000 customers still without power in Louisiana. We have 18,000 now in Tennessee without power and 27,000 in Alabama currently without electricity. Here's the X flare that we just saw a few hours ago over here at the GOES X-ray Flux at the Space Weather Prediction Center. Right now, we're in the middle of a G3 geomagnetic storm, and we have another one on the way, as I pointed out earlier, with the arrival of this large CME that should be here any hour, sparking new auroras, possibly down into the mid-latitudes. Here's a look at the Earth-facing side of the sun. Right down here is the active region and sunspot that unleashed the X flare that we saw earlier today, and we'll probably see more large-scale activity from that region. We already know it's capable of producing X-class solar flares. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. An absence of data here at the borehole seismograph. Little West Thumb showing signs of earthquake activity. Looking at magma intrusion up here at the Soda Butte seismograph. That's what the dark blue means. Other than that, nothing major going on. I understand that is activity at the supervolcano, and I would expect a little bit of activity at the supervolcano. After all, it's a supervolcano. Coming over here to the American Meteor Society, there was a sighting along the east coast of the United States during the early morning hours of September 10th, and primarily visible from North Carolina all the way up to Massachusetts. And what that was a SpaceX rocket launch, visible primarily up the east coast of the United States. There were reports coming out of central Pennsylvania, West Virginia, even 2 reports out of Ohio. But notice the direction the object was moving in the sky, and the object was a SpaceX rocket, once again moving horizontally up the east coast of the United States. This launch was from Cape Canaveral, Florida. This is when people started to notice the object in the sky, and these are always spectacular, very photogenic events. But the question you have to ask here is, why is it moving horizontally across the sky? Wouldn't it be easier just to go straight up? I've noticed that with these rocket launches, even out here along the West Coast, they tend to travel horizontal more than vertical. And if you put a grid on here, a big plus sign, it would be traveling along the horizontal line, not the vertical line, at least from our perspective. Apparently, this is the new up. I used to live in Florida. I've seen rocket launches from Cape Canaveral in person. You could see them from Central Florida, and they always went in a vertical direction. This is something new, and I'm sure they do it for a reason, but as you can see, it appears to be going downward behind the tree line instead of upward from this gentleman's point of view. That video was sent in by Grant Davis. I believe he was in North Carolina. Here's another video by Rich out of Sewell, New Jersey. Both of these videos were around 5:30 in the morning. Rich was up in New Jersey and saw these big white lines in the sky, these big plumes of vapor he noticed, and this looks like a segment of the rocket. I'm not quite sure what part of the rocket that is, but notice how it appears to be going in a downward direction. It's by no means going up. It's going down behind the tree line from his point of view. Shouldn't it be going up this way? That's all. It's just odd. It's an observation that I've noticed for a while regarding these rocket launches that occur now pretty much on a weekly basis, multiple times a week, and people reported this event over at the American Meteor Society. There were 88 reports, and I'm sure there were several hundred people that saw the event going up the eastern seaboard of the United States early in the morning of November 10th, 2024 at 5:33 a.m. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.